right down fucking to it. People on Twitter suck. They really fucking do. And do you want to know why? Because one person thinks that it's okay to send a group of people to harass a 14-year-old and me. Keep in mind that these people are, late 20s, early 30s, and so on. But buckle up, guys. It's going to be a long one. Okay, so first thing is, the person that I'm talking about isn't a serial killer, but they are pretty bad considering the shit that they've been saying about a minor and about me, and also about my culture as like a Native American. I'm 14% Native American, so the stories that I grew up hearing, they're true for my culture, and that's okay. And a different culture of Native American might have different stories about the exact same thing, but they're different, but they're also true, and that's also okay because it's true for that culture. So let's start this shit out. Queen of Mean at 1404. I will put that in the description if y'all want to see. Queen says, I wanted to type this out in the last thread, but it was already getting way too long as it was. Since I started calling out me, she has blamed and guilted me and others for a laundry list of things that we didn't know of or that we didn't have no control over. Yeah, because I would like to keep some things private in my life on the fucking internet. And yeah, I do talk about my depression and my anxiety online because, I think that people should know whenever I'm having like a bad day in case like they actually care. And a lot of people, not a lot, some people actually do fucking care. But I don't actually talk about my nerve damage in my hands. I don't talk about my dyslexia either because I'm kind of embarrassed by it. I really am embarrassed by my fucking dyslexia, and Queen never asked. Queen never asked if I had like anything else going on in my life. Because she doesn't care. She doesn't give a shit. And I think I also talked about my heart condition in the past. Maybe not on the account that she is talking about, but on a different account. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but hey, I have a rapid heart rate, and can't really have caffeine because it will kill me if my heart rate gets too fast. And also like insomnia, but people already know that. And I never brought them up because she never asked. She never asked me. And I live by the rule like, hey, if someone asked you this, you should answer as honestly as you could. But she never asked. And the reason why I am doing this is because she's harassed me twice now, and is also doing targeted harassment as we speak. So yeah. And she thinks that I'm using it as a shield. I'm not. I'm really fucking not. Yada yada yada, using my trauma as a way of gathering sympathy, and woe is me. Like, so fucking what? It's my story. If you guys want to feel sympathy for me, so what? It happened, it's done, it's over with. It caused me PTSD. And I'm living with it every single damn day in my life. And she's afraid of for my friends, people that she also harassed. So yeah, double standard there. Yada yada yada. Yada yada yada. Feels bad for my friends. Like, so what? Don't feel bad for my friends because they're not yours. And I very rarely talk about my problems to my friends unless it's like really affecting me. Like if I'm having like a very bad day, I say, "Hey, I'm kind of having a bad day right now," and like that's all. If they ask like, "Hey, what's wrong?" then I'll tell them like, "Oh yeah, yada yada, reason," and she thinks that it's pitiful for me to be like this. She literally brought up her own heart condition after I brought up my own. And keep in mind, she is blocked from my account, which means that she does not have the permission to view my tweets. And yet she is posting pictures, screenshots that she got from someone else on hers, when she does not have my consent to do so. So yada yada, got rid of all that jazz. Let's move on to her sending people to ask me to join a Discord call, which I told her, like directly to her, no thanks. I said no to it. And then two other people asked me, and I said no to it again. The last one I went off because at that point I was just over it. Like I literally said no, respect that. Like I don't care what server it was, I just said no to Queen. Like that should be enough. I said no to a call with Queen in it. And they were, like pestering me to try and, join the call with her. And I'm just like, no, no, no. And I said no to joining it once. This is the fourth time that I'm saying it. And, like, these are adults. These are adults that can't understand the word no. And I think I have the right to bring up why I hate. I hate it when my no isn't being heard. And I also have the right to refuse to join a Discord server. Like common decency gets you far in life. You might want to try it if someone says no. Don't pester them constantly. And me bringing up like my trauma and all, like why I have PTSD, was relevant whenever my no isn't being heard. When my wishes and my no isn't being heard by adults that should know better, it is relevant. It is relevant to the situation. It is relevant to the issue at hand. So that is all for that incident. The first instant was around the time that my phone screen like completely exploded and shattered and was out of commission for literally a week. And I had my laptop and I have nerve damage and typing is hard, so I have like a voice to text feature on my laptop. So let's what's the first one? Okay, May 16th. Okay, so since people don't know how to wait until Tuesday for me to have my phone so my nerve damaged hands aren't hurting, I'm gonna let everyone see this at once. I knew nothing about like a minor having a not safe for work account. I had no idea. Didn't even know about it until that day, May 16th. And I'm not just gonna block someone by a word of mouth. Because if I did that, half the people that I talk to on Twitter would be blocked, and I wouldn't be on Twitter. Because I'm just kind of like, hey, I need hard evidence of this stuff, Like if I find my reasons, then I will block. And like so far, Queen only showed me like, hey, this person, yada yada yada, does have a not safe for work account, and they are lying about their age. Like, big whoop, minors lie about their age on Twitter all the time. That's not really something to block. And just showing me like the screen that you see whenever you first view a profile, that's all she showed me. Like that's literally all she showed me whenever I was stressed the hell out. And the next thing I'm about to say is a kicker. And I also asked, hey, if anyone has like concrete evidence of them putting out something, not safe for work or suggested, then yes, I will be blocking them. And I already told them this myself in private that they so that way like they didn't feel like they did anything wrong, because I don't want a minor to be, like traumatized by me suddenly stop talking to them and like blocking them after a month of me, like just casually talking to him, just casually talking, sending memes and ranting and, being friends actually. I'm allowed to have friends that I feel comfortable around. But here's the thing that, will piss a lot of people off. But until I get that concrete evidence, I will make my choice. And I asked Queen to wait until Tuesday, twice. I asked her twice to wait. And they didn't care. They didn't care to wait until Tuesday whenever I had my phone. Hello, this is phone. I got the black, the back is, like a sleek black now. And I got a whole new screen. So yeah, I people have pushed my hand so many fucking times on Twitter. I'm not even joking. But she didn't care enough to put in consideration that, hey, I was stressed and she was basically harassing me and pestering me with an issue that I was not in the right headspace to do so. And I also said, like, if anyone has a problem with me wanting to wait until I was in the right headspace, as well as very comfortable, then they can, like, leave, like, get out. So that was May 16th. Then, like, the next day at, like, 3:30 a.m., May 17th, I posted a bunch of pictures of, like, me and Queen, like, our conversation on Discord. And it shows me asking her kindly to wait. And I also list a bunch of reasons why she should wait, because my stress. So, yeah, it starts out with me asking Queen to wait until Tuesday when I had my phone fixed and my hands wouldn't be in pain. And I explained to an Alistair account that I trusted, what was up, because they legitimately asked, like, hey, what's actually up with this? But here we go. I got carpal tunnel in both, arthritis in both, permanent nerve damage in both, with having 30% feeling. So I have a burn scar, like right on the lifeline, so I can't feel anything outside of the deep lines. So right there, it was like right on the lifeline. I have a little scar there now from being burned, and I felt it. Oh my god, my hands. Lots of. Okay, so Alistair account. He explained that I want hard evidence with a lot of things. And then this is why I said to Queen on Discord in private. It's not private anymore since it's out there. I literally said, I really don't need any more stress from anything Eden related. My phone is getting fixed right now. I get that back on Tuesday, so I'm kindly asking you to chill until Tuesday. Then a bunch of stuff would happen. Me and her talked, and then she kept pushing the issue on me. Then I said, great to know you love adding more stress to someone that has asked you twice not to do so. Oh, and you think that's okay with something? Oh. God, my typing. I proof that I have dyslexia and also ADHD. But anyway, I said, good to fucking know you're my brain. Like, Queen's my brain and all. Queen said, "Ah, yes, the stress of a broken phone, true first world problems. Don't worry about this minor being endangered of getting preyed on." Like, oh my god. Like, seriously, yes, it is a first world problem to me because I have a bunch of other underlying problems. And then I said the stress of eating, the stress of money, the stress of not trying to relapse, the stress of not trying to stress even more, which she did not help because she put more stress on me. Don't assume shit you know nothing about. And then there's like an R, but it's fine. Queen said, "Alright, thumbs up emoji. So when it's only about you then." Like it yes, in that moment it was about me since she was putting stress on me. She was pestering me with an issue that I was not in the right headspace to deal with, which is pretty fucking shitty considering that she is also in therapy. She's also in therapy and she should know better whenever someone says, "Hey, wait, chill out." No. And yet she didn't. Uh, so, so yeah, like typing is hard. Voice to speech, already said that. And then it's just like a bunch of me talking to courts and just like me not knowing. And they apologized. They apologized for like not telling me, and I was talking to them for like a month. And Queen also didn't take into account that I knew nothing about it until that day. And courts even thought that I'd hate him for, like having an unsafe work account. I mean, no, I wouldn't hate him. I would be kind of scared for his own safety. And I also explained that, hey, if someone sends me like hard evidence before Tuesday, I'm sorry, but you're gone. Like you're going to be not that. Just like you're going to be blocked. And not going to fully blame you since I didn't know the reasoning behind why you made that account. But in future, don't lie. And like they don't really have like access to it anymore. And then someone else that actually kind of helped, but also just they literally said, "But I don't give an F about your weak excuses." So my physical pain is a weak excuse. My mental health is a weak excuse. And I already told one of my friends on here that, hey, I'm not really going to be on until my phone is fixed. Because, I was talking to them at the time. And I think that they had the right to know since I was actively talking to them. Like everything will resume on Tuesday, and I was planning on doing like this whole entire thread that I did on May 17th on Tuesday. But due to the added stress of Queen and yada yada yada, not really pissed off at her or him or them, don't really know their gender, gonna go with them, but Queen is she. But I couldn't sleep and I wanted to throw up due to the stress that Queen caused. And now the relapse thing, I haven't self-harmed in 5 years. It's going to be 6 years coming up in November. And I would really love to say that I've gone 6 years without adding to my scars. Like, that's a big thing for me and others. And I explained to others why I wanted to wait until Tuesday to do this. So that way I can, like, look into all the accounts, find my evidence, and choose then. And then make the thread. But here I am. Here's the thread. And some context to all this, I didn't know about the not safe for work account until the day that, like Queen made me aware, and I was just talking to him for a month, like simply just like sending memes, was like, hey, I'm your friend, here's a cat meme, because I mostly have cat memes. Anyway. But did I ever think that he had one? No, I really didn't. I just love that he wanted to be on a space where he felt comfortable and safe and around people that had the exact same interests as him because that's what Twitter was built for. That's what Twitter was actually created for. You get that, correct? And if I'd known that he had like not safe for account, I wouldn't have talked to him for a month. I would have chewed him out. I would have, like put on protective mode, and I would have told him to stop, which I did after I found out. After I was made aware of it. And again, people didn't take into account that I didn't know. I didn't know about it. And I had no prior knowledge of him having a not safe for account until it was, made known. Like, all it would have took was a DM to calmly inform me about this. And yes, Queen did make me aware of it, and I asked her to wait until Tuesday, whenever I had, like, my hard evidence that I was, like, more comfortable and less stressed. But she didn't wait. So, more stress on me. And yeah, as of today, the accounts are blocked. So yeah. And that was after me finding my own evidence and after me being pushed to do it. So that was May 17th. No, another May 17th, like 12 out. 13 hours. 6:25 p.m. Like the day that I already said all this. And I already explained, like, hey, they replaced the screen, but the display was weak, so they had to order a new frame now, and I get it back Tuesday. Yada, yada, yada. Fixed phone. That's kind of dirty. And then, like, they had, like, a curious cat account. People went off on them because they saw it. One person said, also funny how you tell someone to take a break when you yourself harass the person, even when they told you not to bother them until a certain time. And yeah, it only came out after she called me out because I think that I deserve to have my privacy intact. And I also told her why I was stressed on Discord. Someone else said, yeah, that's why you harass people till they do what you want, even if they tell you to leave them alone because they need a break. Queen answered, learn to read, honey. She didn't say she needed a break. She said she couldn't do anything because her poor phone was broken. It's funny, really, how you have the whole conversation before you and still decide not to read. Like, seriously. Queen, stop. Because you're being rude to people that don't deserve your rudeness. And then she also said to someone that, fact is, you're illiterate and apparently couldn't see that. She thought that the only reason why I was waiting till Tuesday was because my phone was broken and that's how I wrote it. But I also stated that I was stressed in the exact same message that I sent her whenever I explained to her, wait until Tuesday. And she could have asked me, like, hey, what else is going on? Like, why can't you do this now? And I would have told her. And I also did. I was stressed about a lot of things that day. And then she said, hey guys, do tell me if there has been a moment where I forced you to do stuff and not just telling you of stuff that happened and suggesting what you should do. Like, seriously, she did force me to do it because she did not take into account that I was stressed. So yeah. Now, Sunday evening to morning and stuff, I was stressed beyond belief due to Queen not taking into account that I was stressed with everything that happened on that weekend. And I did ask her to chill until Tuesday when I had my phone back. That was me asking her the first time to wait due to my hands being fucked. So she didn't take that into account. And she also didn't take into account that I was dealing with a lot of other things that I made her aware at the exact same time. When I said, hey, wait until Tuesday. And I should not have to explicitly say I will look into it to her. And I had every right to wait until I was mentally better to do so. Yada yada yada, 6-year streak. Me talking about voice to text feature. Queen isn't on my good side, and she's not. She is not my friend. I do not support her. I do not support her friends at all. I asked her 3 times to. I asked her kindly and calmly to wait, to chill out until Tuesday. Wait until I was better. So that, and I was also planning to take a break, and I also told my friend that, hey, not really going to be on. Gonna take a break until my phone is fixed. But yeah, she pushed it onto me. She pushed those issues onto me. And then yada yada yada, basically forced me, repeating myself, but it's a lot of repeating stuff here. Whenever I was mentally unprepared to do so, and I do not appreciate that at all. It should not be normalized here. It really shouldn't. And if anyone at all says to wait, you shut up about it and wait. And I gave her the day to fully bring it up to me. But due to the fact that she does not respect anyone else, she didn't wait and caused me to have more stress. Like the only ones that fully listened to me were my friends. Which, thank you. Thank you to my friends that actually cared enough about my depressed, anxiety-filled ass to wait and not pressure me into doing anything. And also to an extent, the other account, which I don't, they actually listened fully, and after they stopped talking and fully read what I was saying, they calmed down, and they actually told me to take a break, which literally, my phone broke the 14th, May 14th. I got it back the 20th because they had to order new parts. So from the 14th to the 20th, I did not have my phone. And the person that I was talking to, that I'm talking about right now, shut up, and they listened. They fully listened to why I was stressed and why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. Which, that's a big thing for me. She even told me to take a break, and I was planning on taking a break from May 14th to the 18th, whenever I had my phone back. 4 days, the weekend, without any Twitter, just me watching YouTube and being a couch potato. But Queen didn't allow me to do that. And, I also read over everything, since I do have a little bit of an accent, dyslexia, as well as a lisp. There's a lot going on with my voice right now. So, in short, take into account what the other person is saying, and if they tell you to wait until a certain day, respect them enough as a living human being to do so. And yeah, still haven't self-harmed since then, which I am so fucking glad about. I am so happy about, and I started typing this at 6:25, and I ended at 7:10. That's how long it takes me to type and talk out everything. Now, the last thing. As I mentioned before, I am 14% Native American. Very proud about that. Cherokee descent. For anyone that's, you know, wondering. And one of the stories that I grew up hearing was about a Wendigo. The stories that I was told was that a Wendigo is the guardian of the forest. And that's true. Now, the most commonly known Wendigo, like cultural story is about the Wendigo being a danger to all. And that's also true to that culture, but to my culture, it's really not. But I still value it because it's something that I know of. It's just like a different spin on it, but it's still like A and B both are true. Anyway, Queen devalued that. She devalued the truthness of that story whenever it's not really publicly known. And that kind of makes her like an unintentional racist in a way. Like, seriously, I grew up listening to that story. My ancestors grew up listening to that story, and in the future, I will tell my children that story. Where's that lovely little bean that I saw? They are also, Native American. Hang on, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Oh lord, I think I went too far. Hang on, I really should have screenshotted that. Hang on, I think it was down. I don't edit any of these, and that's fine. Uh. Okay, so lovely little babies. Like, they said I do not wish to come off as rude, which, like, you're not. But in like the East Coast Canadian Native folklore, it's considered like an evil spirit, and it's shown different in each culture. What you grew up to know may be different in another, which that is totally valid. That is totally true. And I said, just going by the stories that I've heard, that I've grown up hearing, but still, the word Wendigo isn't offensive to anyone at all. As someone was like, trying to spread that as such, and didn't really know it was seen as like an evil spirit. I was basically going off of like what I heard. But like that's what I love about my Native American culture. So many different stories about one thing. And Queen doesn't really get that. She doesn't really get that at all. And it's kind of disgusting. It's very disgusting. Let me see. Like, I got a lot. Okay, so I think I got all of that. Yeah, I think I got all about that, but back to like the Native American thing. And like Queen was like pulling up Wikipedia articles, which so what? It's Wikipedia. And she's like, "Hey, look, I see this. I mostly see this, which makes me smarter than you." When I have no inside knowledge about the culture. When I do, considering that I am a part of it. And like, not all Native American stories have been made public. It really hasn't. I will not make my culture's story about the Wendigo public. I really won't. The elders have to okay that. And, like, not really near the elders. Like, they're back at home, but anyway. And it takes them, like, years to decide to make things public. It really does, which I kind of like that about them. And, like, that's just to preserve, like, their culture just a little bit longer, so that way people don't twist it. And if it was public, there would be no point to the culture. Queen just really needs to learn that not all Native Americans have the exact same stories about the same things. Like, seriously, and that's okay. It's okay for different Native American cultures to be different from each other and have similar stories about the same things. Like, and I shouldn't have to explain to 30-year-old adults on how different Native American cultures are from East Coast to West Coast to North, South, to even Canada. Canada has so many different Native American stories centered around their forests. Like, hello? Like, it's really not okay. Like, decent human beings don't act like that. Decent human beings would actually listen before jumping to a conclusion, just like, oh, that story isn't right because yada yada yada, it's not mainstream. like and if you are a Native American and you follow Queen, please be careful. Like, please. Because if she's doing this to me, then who's to say that she won't do it to anyone else? Who's to say that she won't send other people after other Native Americans and devalue their cultural stories? Like, that's all I gotta say. Like, it's sickening to think that a 30-year-old acts like this. A 30-year-old acts like she's in middle school. She's like, oh, mommy, she hurt me, yeah. Well, shut up. Shut up. Put on your big girl panties and go to high school. Or, hey, you know what? Since you apparently have, like, a job, focus on that. Get off the internet. Don't harass people with things that you do not know. That's all I gotta say. Sorry this really wasn't, like, my normal talking about serial killer thing. But I just really needed to rant about this to people that care-ish. That people actually care about me. Actually want to see me be okay in a sense. So yeah, don't piss me off or you'll end up like Queen on my bad side. And also having a video out about her. If you want to devalue my own medical health issues, go right ahead. I just might do the same to you. You want to devalue my cultural stories? Go right ahead. I might do the same for you. If you don't show me sympathy, I might not show sympathy to you. That's just how I was raised. Like, hey, if you treat me like shit, chances are you're gonna get treated like shit by me. So, yeah. This is Miss Monday signing off. And, like, actually listen to people that know what they're talking about. And if something is wrong or, like, something was miscommunicated, calmly ask them about it. Or if, like, something is incorrect, like, correct them, like, calmly correct them. Be a decent human being. Because we're coming out of, like, a global pandemic. It's Pride Month. Like, the world doesn't need any more assholes in it. There's enough out there as there is. So, yeah. Love you all. And yes, I know my hair is basically all gone, but oh well. Bye.